All right, the man with the plan, the man with the knowledge, the man with the wrestling news, the Iceman on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel is back here with another video here on Monday. Um, Tonight's Monday Night Raw. There are no reports about John Cena being on Raw. There's no reports about Brock Lesnar being on Raw. I believe Paul Heyman isn't on Raw. Now, we are in to the first full week of August. SummerSlam is the 17th. So we're a couple weeks away, not even. Um, and For me, this is the biggest event of the summer. So if they don't have the WWE Champion, World Heavyweight Champion John Cena on tonight, and they don't have Brock Lesnar, which is supposedly going to be the main event, I mean, I don't understand, because in the past, the WWE would build up the main event, a month prior to that pay-per-view, and it just seems like lately it just isn't the way the WWE is doing it as of now. Now, I could be wrong. We may see Cena tonight, but there are no reports of John Cena being on Raw. I do know that he's on the set of doing the movie. Well, the bottom line is, all these things ahead of time, so maybe there should have been some changes made, prior going into SummerSlam, you know. But anyway, a lot of people were complaining last night about the WrestleMania 30 that was on NBC. It was a very condensed version. They didn't show 1 minute of Daniel Bryan on that show, and a lot of people were bitching and complaining about it. And the reason behind that was um, basically Daniel Bryan is not involved with the WWE as far as on air wrestling at this point, and he probably won't be till January. So they figure, why showcase somebody to where new fans that possibly are coming back to watching, or just new fans overall, may tune in on Raw and look for Daniel Bryan. He won't be there, so they decided to not have Daniel Bryan on there. So people tuning in on Monday Night Raw wouldn't expect him. I do understand that, but it was a big deal at WrestleMania 30 when he ended up winning the WWE World Heavyweight title. So leaving that off to me was sort of a little bit strange, but that is what it is. And people have to understand this too. I really don't care what other people's opinions are. I listen to them, and I'm not saying mine are right or mine are wrong, and I'm not saying theirs are either. But going into 2015, the WWE has made so many cuts in so many different various areas in the WWE, trying to save money. They're even talking about taping SmackDown the same night Raw airs live. Now, by doing so, they save money by not setting up the following night in another city. They did this years ago, but what does that tell you about the WWE? They are trying to find ways in all different directions to save, not just a little bit of money here and there. They want to save humongous amounts of money. So there's got to be some issues here that we're not aware of. I think in my opinion, the WWE is in a situation that it has not been in a very, very long time, since they almost were put out in the business of the wrestling world by WCW. And a lot of people are saying that, that it was never going to happen. They were this close to going out of business. Vince McMahon said it himself. If it wasn't for the fact that Shawn Michaels stayed on board, because he was offered a huge deal by WCW, and he would not flip-flop over. He was very dedicated to Vince McMahon, and honestly, Shawn Michaels was the guy back then that kept WWE afloat. Now, with all these savings in various areas and whatnot, and even on their house shows, their house shows are nothing like they used to be. I could go to a house show and I would see every major superstar on that card. in the WWE. You know, the top 10 guys in the WWE will be on that card. Now you're lucky if you get to see 3 main eventers on a card. You're lucky to see 2, as a matter of fact. So, you know, there are a lot more issues that is going on within the WWE than than what we really think. And getting back to SummerSlam, again, the biggest pay-per-view of the summer, and it's not being built the way it should be built. You should have confrontations between John Cena and Brock Lesnar, right up to the very pay-per-view showing. And the same with all the other matches that are, lined up on the card. I mean, they are doing the Chris Jericho deal with Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Jericho, defeating one, and if he defeats the other, they both are banned from ringside at SummerSlam, so it'll be just one-on-one with Bray Wyatt. And then they're talking tonight, possibly on Raw, having Orton, Rollins, and Bray Wyatt team up in a triple threat match, which I believe it's Ambrose, Reigns, and I'll be honest with you, I forget who the third person is, but the point being, why is Bray Wyatt in this mix? I really don't understand it. I don't see where they're going, and we've all complained in the past about the way TNA used to, lead up to their pay-per-views and put together matches on their Impact Wrestling shows, where sometimes from one week to another there was different feuds going on with different people that there was never really a storyline going. And to me, I mean, I think the WWE is in the same boat. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching Raw tonight because I really do want to see what happens. I'm wondering if Cena's going to be on there. I'm wondering if Brock Lesnar will be on there. And if Brock Lesnar isn't on there, I mean, instead of having him on last week with his confrontation with John Cena, even if they taped it, it would have been better off to have it right before SummerSlam. Now, whether Cena and Lesnar are on the Raw Go-Home show for SummerSlam remains to be seen. That would be next Monday, a week from today. But I would assume they would be. But if they're not, that would not make any sense at all. I think the WWE right now is focusing a lot with Stephanie McMahon and Brie Bella. Yeah, it's a match that some people want to see. A lot of people want to see Stephanie get her ass kicked by Brie. Whether the WWE and Stephanie McMahon will allow this or not is another story. And we also have the AJ Lee and Paige feud continuing on. And I don't know where this is going to really actually lead to. AJ Lee still gets a very huge pop when she comes out. Paige, in a recent house show, didn't get that much of a pop. So we'll just have to wait and see what develops out of that as well. So, yeah, so there's a lot of weird things going on in the WWE. We all know they're, you can say they're financially hurting. And when you say that, you're just comparing their finances now compared to what it once was. And every good thing does have to come to an end, let's face it. But I think they're overreacting as far as their financial situations going. And I think they're making cuts, too drastic, too much all at once, instead of waiting to see, what it, eventually is going to happen and see whether it's really worthy of making those cuts or not. So anyway, headed to work. Everybody have a great Monday. It's hot and humid here up in Connecticut. And we'll see y'all next time. Enjoy Raw tonight. And we'll talk about that probably sometime tomorrow. Peace out, everybody.